What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing. Like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So let's carry on with the undercard here of Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. So another fight on there of significance was Chris Eubank Jr. versus Szerameta. And this was a fight where it was important going in that Chris Eubank Jr. looked good. Ideally that he gets a knockout, he gets a stoppage, because obviously he needs to keep winning and he needs activity and he needs to look good. He needed to look good going into this. So fortunately for him, he did look pretty good. He won this fight very comfortably. I mean, even from the first round, you could tell he was very sharp. I mean, the only thing with him is defensively he's a bit leaky, using sort of a low lead left hand, and sometimes he gets caught a bit, and he kind of experiments. He kind of throws shots from outside, but he done very well the first round as the opening bell. Put Szerameta down with a good right cross, good sort of shortish right cross. Szerameta goes down, he's hurt, and Eubank, he didn't go for the finish. He just sort of kept on boxing, trying to find these haymakers from outside, and sometimes Szerameta would see it coming, and the fight kept wearing on. Eubank, to his credit, didn't really lose a round. The only thing was sometimes he gets caught by Szerameta's right hand, because he was looking for power and looking for big shots. Sometimes, as Andy Lee rightly pointed out, he's looking for these big shots that really you need to throw when you're at close range, these little tight uppercuts and hooks and stuff. Sometimes he's throwing the shots from too far out, so he did, some occasions he missed. But with Szerameta wasn't really able to capitalize on these mistakes properly. So as it goes on, Chris Eubank Jr. again knocks Szerameta down, this time with another short right hand. And you could tell that the writing was on the wall. Szerameta gets to his feet, he boxes on. And again, it's more sort of dominance by Chris Eubank Jr. Fast, sharp punches from the outside, catching Szerameta with, the right uppercut and the left uppercut. And then the end of this comes in round 7, where it's more of the same pattern of Chris Eubank Jr. just sort of peppering Szerameta from the outside. And then he catches him with a nice hook to the body. It goes to the head, then down to the body. And it looked like it just grazed Szerameta, but it didn't. It actually, landed hard on him. And then Szerameta goes down. And then the next time again in round 7, Eubank Jr. goes after Szerameta again, gets him in the same spot again to the body, to I think it was the floating ribs, around that ribs / around there to the solar plexus sort of area. And Szerameta goes down again. Can tell he's hurt, but to his credit, he gets to his feet. And, the referee gets to his feet and he's there for the count. And the referee decides that he's seen enough, and that's it, it's over. I mean, I can understand Szerameta's disappointment there, because he looked like, okay, he was going to go eventually, but he looked like he had the presence of mind to probably maybe see the round out. But at the same time, all that was going to happen is Eubank Jr. was going to go after him again, put him down again, and just keep putting him down, and eventually he'd be out cold. So, yeah, right man won there. Good result for Eubank Jr. He looked good doing what he did. Performed pretty well. As I say, the lacking things were just sort of some defensive mistakes where he's got that low guard and he sometimes gets caught and stuff. So yeah, that's where the errors were made. And then after he wins, then Conor Benn, he calls Conor Benn in the ring. Conor Benn's, really giving it some, really, talking it up and saying, you're next, and, I ain't scared of you, blah, blah, blah. Eubank saying, yeah, I smell the fear. And they brought Neymar Jr. in, the Brazilian footballer, because I think he plays poker with Chris Eubank Jr. sometimes. So, yeah, that was funny. Neymar was like he speaks Portuguese, so he was translating the Spanish from Ben. Ben was like, what, you know, whatever he said in Spanish, and Neymar was translating it to Chris Eubank Jr. So yeah, it was good performance by Eubank Jr. And it looks like, for all intents and purposes, we're gonna get Eubank versus Benn, the Suns edition. We're gonna get that at some point. Who knows? Probably next year or something. And that'll be a big fight. I don't know what Conor Benn's situation is legally, you know, in terms of a ban and when he can fight next. But it looks like we will get Benn versus Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. I mean, for me, I think if it does happen, really you've got to favour Chris Eubank Jr. It should be too big, too strong, and Conor Benn is a decent fighter, but I don't think he's really sort of a world level fighter. And for me, I think the aggression that he has will play into Chris Eubank Jr.'s hands. And I think Chris Eubank Jr., you know, the aggression and that style will play into Eubank's hands. And I also think that the size and everything, you know, Chris Eubank Jr. is just going to be too big and too strong for Conor Benn. This is welterweight versus middleweight. So, I mean, it's size-wise and everything, it should be a mismatch. But let me know your thoughts, and let me know your thoughts on how Chris Eubank Jr. performed in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.